just be on news.
Okay.
Oh, it says recording on mine.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Yes.
I think we're ready to go. This is our very first Zoom session, so we're very excited. Misha Gadsden and Leanne Dixon, and we are going to discuss our task 1 and task 2 feedback for our peer reviews. And then I guess just setting our norms, just like revisiting what we agree to do. Like we communicate via text and email to make sure that the times are appropriate for each other. And so we decided on today, Thursday, February 13th. The time now is 8:30. So we will go ahead and get started. And would you like to go first or you want me to go first?
Sure, either way. I'm good either way.
Okay. So I want to see if I can do the screen share thing too. So hopefully it won't cut off and then I can just pull that section up. Let's see.
I also pulled up the rubric.
Oh, cool.
I thought that kind of helps too, of like, oh yeah, what were we doing there? What was task 1? What did we need to do? So I pulled that up for us too.
Awesome.
Because the other night in class, he said, you'll start with your peer review form, but really the conversation will go in a different direction. So I was like, I need more guidance. So I pulled that up to help us.
So this one is that on our, the weekly reviews? Like that's, okay. Let me see if I can pull that one up over here. And then we can do both. I think it locked me out. So let's see.
While you're working on that, I just want to say, yay, we survived.
Yes.
And we made it because the other 2 members, I still can't see any of their work. Haven't found any of their work. So
yeah, I don't know where it is. And I at first thought maybe I was looking in the wrong place. And because I noticed like on our Zoom team, like sometimes I might not see everyone's face, but I can see the name. So I thought maybe their names would be there, but I didn't even see the name.
That's what I like stalk trying to find them every Zoom. I'm okay, where are they? No. So yay, we made it. Or we decided to keep going.
Okay, so Absol, I'm going to share my screen completed. I'm so sorry. Hopefully they won't take off for the the time. I'm really trying to finagle both of them.
Good. It's a learning process. I've never used Zoom before this at all. So
okay, here we go. And then share screen. This one. Can you see this screen? Oh, nope, you can't see it yet. Okay, you can see it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll just start out with like, this is task 1. So this is just where we had kind of our overview of our school and then our PLC team and the reason for the selection. So I noted like on the first one, because you were really good with like your sources and just making sure the references were there. And so there were 7 already on the first one. I definitely thought it was aligned. And that the selection and your meeting description address the task. I liked how you were able to describe like how they would support, because I know that that was one area that I took from yours to go back and add to mine, because I mainly at the beginning kind of listed the team members and their roles. versus exactly the reason why and what they were going to do. So I felt like that was a strength in your paper. And then also just like the quotes that you were using, I thought that that was good that you had in there. Just one thing to note, and I believe that you fixed that one, is just how you would use the research to conduct the meeting. So like we had a lot of research there, but just noting moving forward, like how you're going to use that part. And then the leadership is evident definitely with communication. You talked with your PLC on upcoming meeting dates. You talked about the topics that you would address. And I think that was it for the sections that we need to discuss, because I know the other sections are more like just grammatical fixes that we take care of with the revision. So
And
task
new
one,
AP.
that's good.
Yeah. Super.
All right, let's see if I'm going to move to the other screen, and I want to use good. Uh-oh, I lost it. How do I go back out? Okay, so I'll look at task 2.
I'm pulling up yours too on my computer.
Okay.
Then I can share the screen, maybe, I think.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so on task 2, this was kind of in depth with the process in which we were looking at the data. So still very much aligned. Had an appropriate use of your sources, especially when you were referencing like your EBAS data. The strength is just how you used your guiding questions. And then because you mentioned it. So like I know, like you mentioned specifically, like I use the guiding question XYZ and then to spell it out. You also prompted getting them towards the end by saying, so can we agree that we see a specific content area need? So that kind of brought everybody back together to the focus. Because sometimes, and I know a lot of times in meetings, like we'll have a lot of discussion and then just need that close, like getting back to the point and getting back to like the focus. So that was good. And the only other thing I was wondering about is since it was math instruction, I didn't know if you guys also do the breakdown of like each domain. And so I didn't know if that might be helpful to zoom in on specifics, because like I know it's our school, like a lot of like fractions is always really, really tough, 3, 4, 5. And so maybe even zooming in on a specific might just help the focus that part.
Yeah. That really helped me in like planning, like my next PLC with them is going in depth with, okay, now let's look at specific areas with math.
Right.
And we also I asked them to go back and think about like what all are we using, because we have a math program. We also have an online resource, a different program. We also have a fact fluency resource. So I feel like that we're kind of all over the place with that too. And so I told them, I said, so next time we're going to go in depth looking at what is content wise are we working on, but then also like, let's look at all these programs. And, I'm working with 3rd and 4th grade. 3rd grade has really good scores. 4th grade does not look the same. And so my whole PLC, like I was very nervous about how it was going to go, because a lot of times when I would meet with those fourth grade teachers, they talk about how the kids aren't coming to them ready. They want to play the blame game,
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first year I've had to coach in third, fourth, and fifth grade. I've generally been coaching K2,
Oh,
K3.
okay.
And so, but the data said, we need you in 3-5. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, I was really nervous. That's why I put because you said to talk about from my first task about being specific in the elements of the PLC. So that's why I was like, okay, guiding questions. Because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't record myself because I was so scared that it was going to turn into something ugly.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, okay, guiding questions to keep us going in the right direction. So, yeah.
Oh, good. Good,
So I
good.
didn't want to go into what areas yet, because I wanted them to see, like, okay, reading is a glow for us as a district, like even fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are looking dynamite in reading, but math is not, as it's a little more colorful. And so, yeah. So I was trying to kind of go in slowly.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, that makes sense. That I could see
and it
where
was
that could
this,
go left.
yes, yeah. It was, well, and you looked at all my data, you saw it was pretty, yeah, scary. So,
Yep. So we'll what math program is it again? Because you said y'all have 3 different ones that y'all use.
so we have like our math curriculum is Go Math, and so we have
Okay.
it K5. And then we also this year adopted Dreambox,
Mm-hmm.
which is a digital, like, online platform that is interactive, and it's student driven. So, like, it goes, if you're a fourth grader but you're still having gaps in second grade, it goes back and works on that with those students. So,
Okay.
and it aligns to Go Math.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
but
neat
then we
because we're
also,
actually thinking of going. That's one of the things that we're trying out is Dreambox because we have it as a district. We just didn't use it at our school, and
yeah,
so a lot of teachers didn't really know how to use it. So that's one of the trainings that we're
yeah.
doing.
And I really like it a lot, because you have the component of the kids just get on there and work, and
Mm-hmm.
you look at that data, but you also, like, if you have a curriculum that it aligns to, so like with us with Go Math, I can say, I want to create an assignment. I just finished chapter 4. I want to make an assignment to see how is everybody responding to that. And you can. So it kind of stops them in their path, gives you some formative assessments, and then you can put them back on their pathway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really, yeah.
That's
And
neat.
it's been good for our district because we were all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
as many districts are, in what we're using. So it wasn't even like we could compare, well, this is working better because, 2 teachers were using it and 7 were using something totally different. So our central office finally got on board and said, we're mandating, we're going to say, but they did lots of research. So I feel like we picked good things, but
That's kind of how it is now with us in literacy. So
yeah,
now, because we adopted a new curriculum this year, whereas before we didn't have one, and so we kind of had to pull from all over the place to get lessons. So now at least we have something, and if we want to use something additional, we can. But that is our base; like we have to use that
right,
first.
right. Is that like a basal, or
It's no, it's like Learn Zillion.
okay,
So
yeah.
it's through L Education, but then all of the like the online tools and things are through Learn Zillion.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was good. Like the other part too, along with the leadership, open discussion with your PLC, you gave them a chance to like not tell them what you saw, but you were like still prompting them so that they could think and just have that open discussion. So I thought that was really good.
So the school that I'm doing this PLC with, I travel to all of our elementary schools,
Oh,
but
wow.
yes, I'm an instructional coach. So
Okay.
been out of the classroom. This is my 5th year, I guess, as an instructional coach. And this school has had a lot of administration turnover. So there were teachers in this PLC that had never seen these reports.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I met with the administrator, he was even like, now I've not really shown them.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so that made it even more scary for me. But, actually it might have made it easier because I go in their rooms all the time. I can say, I know you're doing this. I know you're doing this, but we've got to do something different, So, but still, I was very disappointed to know when I met with him, he was kind of like, now we've not really looked at this.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of sad. It's kind of, yeah. Well, and it's kind of the reason that I decided to do my add-on. Because I'm pretty disappointed that things are not happening, and that's kind of their job. So,
yeah. You'll be great. You will be great.
So, okay. So now we'll go to your, let's see if I can find it. So did you have a hard time? Like, I know something that, so I didn't know if you know, so Stacy Miller and I are in the same district. He is our 6-12 instructional coach. I'm K5.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so she and I talk and we get together and we plan and we work on homework and stuff. And so one thing that she said that they talked about during their first Zoom was, how did your selection go? Did you have a hard time getting people to agree to be in your PLC because they don't want to do more stuff? Or was everybody pretty receptive for you?
Everyone was pretty receptive because we, like I lead a subcommittee anyway. And so I said, well, instead of doing, we're just going to extend our time. So I just took a smaller group of my subcommittee. And so they have coverage in the morning. So normally our subcommittee will meet at 8 to 8:45, and then our kids come right at 8:45. So they just meet right after our subcommittee, and then we just meet until 9:15. So it actually worked out pretty well because I was like, well, you're getting coverage for your kids. That's a bonus.
Exactly. I didn't know because, where we're not in the classroom, it made it hard because we had to plan it after school. So we were kind of wondering about, I can't imagine doing this program and being in the classroom. Kudos to you ladies who are in the classroom. I could not do it. Definitely could not do it. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to find your, okay. All right. Okay. Now, when I pull it up, now I go to back to the Zoom.
It's time for bed. Daddy's going to read it.
Okay, now I've lost everything. I'm trying to find. Yeah.
Mommy?
Yes.
Can you read us a story?
Yes, in a moment. Go get in bed.
Okay. Do you see it?
Yes.
Super. Okay. So looking at yours, let's see. You definitely had your resources and had your sources, 3 or more. You did go the documenting the roles and the reasonings. I think that's just good to kind of understand when you're reading somebody else's paper. I really liked how I kind of could visually see, okay, so that's her. This is why she chose this person, I think that's good. And I think that helps other people learn, when you're making a PLC, who you want to select.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. And then your use of technology was good. Is this the right one?
Uh-huh. I think so,
Yes.
because it's the first one. Yes, because I did have the annotated bib on the first one.
Yes. Well, and I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Stacy, like I would be so lost. Like we literally will look through it and just be like, now what are we supposed to do? One more time? Like
See, I used the old template at first, and then I realized later that they had posted the new one. So I was going off like the structure of the example, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to have an annotated bib here. So
yeah. And it's funny because one of the girls in her group did the same thing. And so we're both like, what happened? Are we wrong? Did we do the wrong thing? Who's right? We don't know what to do. You know, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
It is.
But that's leadership.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. So, yeah.
Oh, I think you froze. Did you freeze? You froze. Oh no. Hello. You froze.
Everything really.
It's freezing.
In your first one. Okay. Can you see me now? Hear me now?
Yes, there we go.
Okay. I don't know what happened. So yes. And I tell you too, on this first peer review, I didn't know what all was supposed to, so then we used this template. Did you find this one online? And that kind of helped me with my peer review for the next ones. Like I felt like I was doing a better job of reviewing after this next one because this one's kind of
That's the rubric, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it just kind of, like breaks down. So if you did this or, did you go beyond that and go into proficient and all of that? So I tried to use that to help me with my peer reviews. So
that's what I'll use then for this time.
It does help because it talks about like with the PLC research, it talks like, so did they have a minimum of 3? Like it gives you like what they're looking for. And then,
okay.
Yeah. And then like, did the candidate document PLC members and their roles, their strengths and their details? Did the candidate do that and lead the PLC meeting in a discussion of a vision and the purpose? So like it just kind of outlines like how to get better.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that was totally helpful. And then I don't think we talked about this. We just found it.
And that is in the week. Okay, let me pull that one up too.
It's actually, let me see. It's like, I don't think it's even in the week. I think it's in like the materials and the resources. Because we literally just found it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it on my screen.
Go back, please. Oh, okay. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Ooh, I love your red bow.
Thank you.
So pretty. Red's my favorite.
Thank you.
All right, nighty-night.
Oh, you want to say hello? Lydia's going to say hello.
Oh, come here, Leah. Look. Her name is Lydia.
Say hi.
Hi, Lydia.
It's on Vampirina.
You watch Vampirina?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, nighty-night.
All right, let's see. I feel like it's under, we found it like, it's under the, okay. So on your shell, as they call it, there's Absol, let's see, task and prompts.
Okay.
And it's under that called the scoring rubric. we just happened to find it one day. And we were like, oh, this helps a lot.
Oh, good. So I'll use that one for task 3 and 4.
Yeah, I really think it helps to just kind of know what they're wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we'll go to task. Anything else you want to add or talk about for task 1?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, so now let's see if I'm doing this right again. I'm going to share. Okay. Okay, so now you can see I definitely felt like I understood what I was supposed to do better on this one. So on this one, just strengths and the content was you really knew you were using your data to go in deeper, clearly understand and represent that. The use of technology as a press to help you determine your pressing need. I'm trying to think like specific things without going back and rereading.
The pressing need, I know that I felt like I did like attendance as it's related to behavior, as it's now related to lower reading scores. So then I remember in class they were saying, make sure your data is something that will be measurable. And so I know that both of them are. So like I can measure the behavior, I can measure the attendance, and I can measure the reading, but I just didn't know like ultimately which one I should use as the like kind of the final. Like I feel like they all kind of work together.
Right.
But I didn't know if that's where I was wondering like if I'm on the right track, because I could go straight and just say, okay, we're just going to do reading data and these are reasons why our reading data is low. Right. Or I could do like our school's real issue truly is behavior. Like it's pretty bad. So I just wasn't sure, but I mean, I guess I am on the right track because he didn't say one way or the other, but that was just one of my questions that.
Yeah, and I think like the way you have it all, like we understand that the reading is a need, but we also feel like other factors that are affecting that is behavior and attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I think that's good because, like when I went into my task 2 and I guess even more in my task 3, I talked about like, it's not just math because we have programs, we have stuff. It's more of like teacher efficacy and that kind of stuff. So I think you're doing the same thing. I think you're saying,
okay.
We know it's reading, but when we look at like Hattie's, his, most critical strategies, attendance and behavior and getting those things under control can really correlate to improvements in student achievement in reading.
Right. Okay.
I think it's okay because, I mean, it all is linked together and, that is a pressing need.
Okay.
And I think you're right. You can collect data in all of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all have like Power School and is that how you do?
We have Power School data because like we send our attendance letters regularly and like we even have this thing now like for tomorrow we're doing an attend dance like instead of attendance. So like all the kids who've had like 80% or higher attendance get to go to a dance.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
So those two alone.
Yeah, we do those kind of things too, like PBIS. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I think so. So I think that's good that you're not just looking at, we need improved reading strategies. It really goes beyond that because it's behavior and attendance. So
right.
I think that's good. And then so I'm trying to remember your data presentation. I had the breakdown for the solution, like your grade levels, your subgroups.
Yeah, it was, yeah, because first it did it by male, female, and
Mhm.
then it did it by race and grade level. So
Yeah.
it was neat to see just the differences, like especially even just looking at male, female for each grade level to see like which areas are strong, like high risk, like which ones are our students getting suspended for most, and that ended up being fifth grade.
Yeah. And like Stacy and I were talking about that, and I was like, does our PBIS team look at that? Like, do we, because we're in MTSS, so we're looking at all this stuff too. And I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, I don't know that we ever really look at it that way as much as we just look at, fifth grade has more issues than fourth grade. I don't
Mhm.
know that we look at it that way. So I thought that was really good. Really good. And then I just put in there like guiding questions just because it helped me. So I felt
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm going to try to remind people because that does make
Yeah.
it a little bit better. Yeah. And I even did like in my PLC, I even said like, okay, I'm turning this slide for 2 minutes. No one can say anything. I want you to just look at it 2 minutes before anybody says anything. Cause I knew like as soon as they went on to that slide, it was going to be, so
That
yeah.
was it. Okay, that's a good strategy. I like that.
Because,
I
we do
do.
that with kids and you talk about like, okay, so just look, you know, just that strategy of like
Observe.
giving
Yeah.
yourself time to, take it in. So, yeah,
Good.
yeah. So, yeah, I think yours is, it's going well. I think it's good.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, writing, 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 writing,
I
writing.
know. Oh, that's what I said. And I was like, oh, that's the part I did not want to do. And all the research and yeah, it's overwhelming, but.
Now, so the next one that we have to do, the APTL, okay, so we'll finish out this one
Mhm.
and then we'll do the APTL. What is that one primarily about?
Stacy and I were just talking about that today, and I, I don't know exactly if it's like going more in depth and looking like back at what we've done, because somehow they're all related.
Mm-hmm.
Like the APSL and the APTL go together, and it's just extending. So I'm not really
Oh
sure.
no, don't worry about it. I'll
You know,
look at it on Saturday. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
Saturday's
and
my
I
day
feel
to
like
like.
task 4 is kind of preparing us for that because we have to talk about like short-term goals, mid-term goals and long-term goals. So I wonder if that's part of the APTEL is like reflection on how are we doing towards those goals. I don't know because I feel like we're doing all of this stuff so fast, but we're kind of talking about results that haven't happened yet.
Right, yeah. Because I said we won't see our results for a while.
No. And honestly, like I even worry that I don't know that this is going to affect our scores this year. It might even be
For next year.
next year, which we use NC check-ins. Do you all use check-ins?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yep.
hoping like that might show some gleams or some glows. I don't know, but
But see, like ours won't even be until the very end because I think it's the end of April is when we're
yeah,
doing our last check-in.
yeah.
So I was like, that's pushing it.
I think we're at the beginning of April, and then like right now we've had no snow, so we're like set to get out of school May 20 something.
Oh
So
wow.
we're gonna do like a check-in and then turn around and do a EOG.
Mm-hmm. Which county are you in again?
Allegheny.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, yeah, y'all haven't had any snow.
We actually got out for a flood. We got out early for flooding. It's like, what? This is the craziest winter.
It has been crazy because we were out last week, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep. We were too. We had, well, Friday we were out. Thursday we were iffy. We thought we were getting out and we ended up staying. Um, but my goodness. Yeah. We've had
Yeah.
like 4 seasons in a week.
In a week. Yeah, we had snow one day
We
too
did
last week.
too. Yep.
So
We had snow. All the kids
where
were
are
in
you at?
Charlotte.
You're in Charlotte. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's It's crazy. It's crazy. So I feel like that's how the app tool will maybe come into play. I don't.
They'll definitely talk about that probably in the next couple
We had
sessions.
a friend that did this program just last year, and
Okay.
so he was telling us, he said, I promise the first one is the worst. He said, everything after that is all connected. So he's like, you're not researching, redoing stuff. He's like, it's a lot of using what you've done. So
Oh, good.
we're hoping.
That's good to know.
We're hoping he's not just telling us that, fluffing us up.
Well, I guess, do we want to see, like, do Thursdays work for you or other days, so that, like, whenever we want to do our next one?
Yeah, Thursdays are good. That's good. Because
Okay.
right now, like, I'm trying to stay at school and work. So, like, anytime after school that you would want to.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, if, like, tonight, Stacy and I just kept working, and then I came home. So, it's fine.
What time does your school
Thursdays
get
is good.
out?
Our students leave about 3, like, all the car rider duty and stuff is over about 3:15.
Okay. So you would
Yeah.
still be at school on Thursdays, like at 4:30, 5?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay. Okay, so we could actually do that, like, and that would work if we do, like, next Thursday, let's
Okay.
say at 5. Let's do
Okay.
4:45. 4:45.
Okay.
That way, so I'll have to leave by 5:30. And that should work. And then I will try to make this a recurring Zoom session. I'll do the link to upload it, and then I guess we'll just need to upload that into oh gosh, where does this one go again? Let's see. On the left-hand side, it'll go under our completed or our assignment Dropbox.
Mm-hmm. I think it's.
Let's see.
Assignment Dropbox. Let's see.
Or maybe it's the task for review. Maybe we do, I don't, as a thread.
I wrote that down.
Let's see.
Or I thought I wrote that down last week. Let me see here. It says in the peer review Dropbox. So I guess, let's see. Absol completed peer review Dropbox. Zoom videos.
It's at the bottom. Okay. Okay.
That's why I was like, where is that? It is at the bottom.
Okay. So we just have to do the link there.
Yes. Yeah.
So I email you the link, and then we both put it on.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. I'm getting ready to email it out. Let me know if you don't get it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. You have a great night.
You too. Anytime you have any more questions, text.
Oh, I will.
Call. Yeah. We're all in this together.
Okay.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thanks. Same to you.
Bye.